I do is win, 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 no matter what. What's going on, WrestleTalk friends and fans? It is your Quizzlemania champion Tempest coming at you with another edition of the WrestleTalk Recap. If this is your first show, the WrestleTalk Recap is the weekly show where I break down the news and notes in the week of professional wrestling and show you anything that you may have missed across all of WrestleTalk's YouTube channels. Speaking of, as we are now heading into WWE's TLC pay-per-view, we saw the return of Fakidor once again, and he has now officially challenged Ollie Davis for the Jam That Championship.
In my life, it's... hang on. Just close the window.
Laurie. We could be champion.
No.
We could make
No.
everything Fakidor.
No.
Yes.
TLC, of course, takes place this Sunday, so make sure you check back with WrestleTalk's live coverage to see who walks away with the Jam That Championship. Also this week, we had the big fat Quizzlemania of the year.
All right, you know what, Tempest? I'll take a punt.
Okay.
Is it Gilbert?
It is Gil. Oh! Yeah, it totally is. Of course it is.
Let's
what a
go!
When I step up in a building, everybody's hands go up. Without getting too sappy, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the people that I work with, yes, even Nugget, and all of the people that continue to watch us from week to week. You have no idea how much of an impact on us you guys have. That being said, I'm never going away and I'm never losing this championship. To your titles, people. Switching gears now, the match of the week is going to go a little bit off the board. It's going to be Kenny Omega versus Laredo Kid from AAA's Triple Mania 28. This is the first time that Omega was able to defend the AAA Mega Championship in Mexico since last year. And what a match it was. He and Laredo Kid continue to have great chemistry together, having their first singles match here at the event. It was absolutely spectacular with incredible dives and an avalanche one-winged angel to put Laredo Kid away. Omega's not giving up that title yet, folks. He's just going to keep adding to his collection. The show of the week this week is NXT. Featuring a pair of really strong matches and the return of Karrion Kross, NXT was able to pull out another really good show as we get closer to the end of the year. Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley battled in the main event and had another really good match together. Storm is continuing to develop her heelish personality, while Ripley was trying to get back some of the momentum she has lost this year. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for Ripley, as Storm was able to get the win once again. But also on the show, we had Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly. No one's ever going to complain when they see these two wrestle each other, and this week was no exception. This match was for a shot at Finn Balor's NXT Championship, and it was Kyle O'Reilly once again getting the win and earning another shot at the title. The title match is now set for New Year's Evil, and judging by what we saw at NXT TakeOver 31, I don't think anyone's going to complain with seeing Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor go at it one more time. Getting into the news now, Raw had an epic all-time low rating this week. There have been a lot of reports since then about the reaction backstage, but many expect that reactionary decisions may be coming in the near future. What exactly that means, we don't really know yet, but it could mean a title change or more changes introduced to keep Raw fresh. We've seen these in the past with the Superstar Shakeup, with Raw Underground, with Raw Dark, different things that they add to the show to try and give it some of that new polish, but it never really seems to last that long, does it? Meanwhile, Kenny Omega once again appeared on Impact Wrestling, this time focusing much more on his old relationship with Bullet Club members Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. Omega is now officially making his in-ring debut with the company. Coming to the aid of his former Bullet Club friends, Kenny Omega, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows will face Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns at Impact's Hard to Kill pay-per-view. As many have pointed out, this is the match that we didn't know we wanted, but we do now. Moving on to this week's shows, we had the culmination of the Best of the Super Junior and World Tag League tournaments. Hiromu Takahashi was able to capture his second Best of the Super Junior crown, while Guerrillas of Destiny were able to capture their first World Tag League. Both of these will now have implications as Wrestle Kingdom 15 approaches, with Hiromu Takahashi facing El Phantasmo on night 1 of the show, and then the winner of that match facing Taiji Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship on night 2. And meanwhile, Guerrillas of Destiny will be facing Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi for the IWGP Tag Team Championships at the event. Over on Raw, we had the show that resulted in this all-time low rating, with Bray Wyatt taking us on a puppet tour of the Thunderdome, and oh lord. This is why I find it so hard to get into Bray Wyatt's character. Like, he's really creative, but then we get segments like this. And of course, this led to more stupid stuff with Randy Orton, and he lit him on fire, and it's just, Watch the show if you want, but I'm out. Watch WrestleTalk's review of the show instead. That means you don't have to watch it. We've already talked about the biggest news and notes from Impact and NXT, so we'll move right on to AEW Dynamite. Tag teams everywhere. That's right, this show featured a lot of tag team matches, and in particular, it featured matches with especially young tag teams. Teams like Private Party and The Acclaimed continue to get the shine on this week's show, as AEW is very clearly looking to build towards the future with these teams as well as Top Flight. But also on the show, you saw Kenny Omega return to the ring for the first time since winning the AEW World Championship, taking on Joey Janela in a no disqualification match. Omega basically dominated this match, defeating Joey Janela as Don Callis heelishly gave commentary on a live mic at ringside. After the match, however, it was announced that Kenny Omega would be defending the AEW World Championship against Rey Fenix on Dynamite. Both times these two have wrestled in the past has been absolutely fantastic, so there's no reason to expect anything less in their upcoming matchup. And then closing out the week on SmackDown, there was outrage over Bayley pinning Bianca Belair on the show. Bayley, of course, has been losing a lot of matches, Belair has been winning a lot of matches, so why not we just kill both of those stories dead and have Bayley beat Belair? It's WWE, people. What do you expect? That being said, they did have an excellent segment with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, as Kevin Owens was beaten mercilessly by Reigns and Jey Uso on this show, only to never give up and promise to win the championship this Sunday. Now that's how it's done. Make sure, of course, you check out Adam Blampier's list this week, as he lists 10 hilarious WWE wrestler gimmicks that you may have forgotten.
And number 1, Hulk Hogan's war bonnet. Look at Hulk Hogan's stupid hat. How am I just now finding out about Hulk Hogan's stupid hat? Good lord.
He really wants that hat, Adam does. Over on WrestleTalk.com, we have all the features you could want regarding this Sunday's TLC pay-per-view. We have lists of all of the TLC main events ranked, we have lists of all the TLC matches ranked, we have lists of 10 extreme moments that happen in TLC matches outside the pay-per-view, and 10 extreme moments that happen in TLC pay-per-views from years past. What more could you want? Back over on YouTube, on Parts Unknown, we had the big fat Quizzlemania of the year.
Ollie Davis is the kind of man to nudge the kitchen drawer in with his hip after using his panini maker.
A good time was had by all, no doubt. And right here on Wrestle2, you had another week's worth of Wrestling Daily with Alex McCarthy and his various hosts.
Look at the slow reveal. It's a crown. It's a penguin. He's wearing a jumper. It's a jumper in a jumper. It's like an Inception Christmas jumper.
You had another edition of ScreenGrapple with Simon Longden.
Well, they are disgusting. They are some Ugg boots that have been vajazzled. Don't know if vajazzling has travelled to other parts of the world other than the UK, but Google it. Images.
And you had Louis Dangore's interview with the TNT champion Darby Allin.
Yeah, for sure. That was a huge moment, but something about the interactions with Sting, are just as big, because this is writing history here, So this, if this is somebody's tail end of somebody's career and you have any hand in writing that story, it doesn't get any bigger.
And now for something completely different. There was a lot of game playing this week, as we got the full uncut video of the gang playing Uno with classic rules, of course.
Got to say
What?
Uno,
I
mate.
pressed
You've
square.
got to
I
say
didn't press
Uno.
square.
Got to say Uno, mate.
Uno.
You've got to say Uno, Blair.
No.
Hey!
Challenge. You've got to say it. Oh, you got to say it, mate.
And in the latest edition of Board Game Club, you have Adam and friends playing Wavelength.
Ollie's second favourite film.
Oh.
I don't know Ollie outside of this.
Coming up, of course, we have live TLC coverage as we see who will walk away with the Jam That Championship. And as we head into the end of the year, make sure to check back, as there will be tons of end of the year content, including lists, looking back at some of the best and worst moments of 2020. And that just about wraps it up with another edition of the WrestleTalk Recap. This is 2 Title Tempest reminding you to like, share, and subscribe to stay notified, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram is @WrestleTalk.official, our Twitter is @WrestleTalk_TV, and you can follow me on Twitter @TempestWT, and I will see you next time.